Welcome back, students. Now let's do the workshop questions based on the poem The Worm. Question number 1. Give the modern words for the archaic words from the poem. You see, archaic words are those words which are having old fashioned flavor and are usually not used frequently in contemporary English. Let's see which are those words and what are the modern words for those words. Thy, your, being. Here in this poem it means life or existence. Bestowed, gifted or given as a gift. Thee, you, thou means you, and canst means can. Let's do the second question. The poet uses a device where he directly addresses someone absent or abstract. Such a device is the figure of speech called as apostrophe. In case of apostrophe, you address someone who is absent or abstract. Say, for example, if I use a sentence like that, "Oh, death, when are you going to come?" So, death cannot be actually touched or seen. It is abstract, but I am addressing death. Such kind of figure of speech is called as apostrophe. We observe example of that in the poem. The given example is, "Turn, turn thy hasty foot aside." Now we are asked to pick out two other lines from the poem which have the same figure of speech, apostrophe, and they are, "Nor crush that helpless worm." And second is, "Oh, do not lightly take away the life thou canst not give." Students, there is another figure of speech which has been used in the poem, and that figure of speech is known as inversion. Inversion figure of speech is when the words used in the poem are not in proper prose order. Let me tell you an example. "The sun, the moon, the stars he made." This line appears in the poem. And the words are not in proper prose order. The order should have been, "He made the sun, the moon, and the stars." But then why are we changing the order? We change the order. The poet has changed the order for better poetic effect. When such words are changed in order for better poetic effect, the figure of speech is inversion. Now let's do the third question and sub question in that. Why does the poet appeal to us to respect the life of a worm? The poet appeals to us to respect the life of a worm as it is also a creature created by God, and generally we tend to hate the worms. They are poor and humble and helpless, but they are also created by God. Hence, if we respect them, it is like we are showing respect to the God. So the poet appeals us to respect the life of a worm. Now, the second sub question from question number 3. Why do you think God created worms? What is their ecological importance? Every creature on this earth is created by God for some purpose. Worms play a very important role in maintaining ecological balance. They loosen and aerate the mud and bring up the fertile soil. They convert the organic matter into rich humus. Thus, though they are small, they play a very important role in maintaining ecological balance. And that is the very purpose for which God has created them. The next question is, "Live and let live" is a famous proverb. Which lines from the poem support this proverb? Now, first of all, let us understand what this proverb means. The proverb live and let live means, first of all, we should live a free and happy life and even allow others to live a free and happy life. Now, which are the lines from the poem that support this proverb are, let them enjoy their little day, and second is, do not lightly take away the life thou canst not give. These are the lines from the fourth stanza which support this proverb. The next question, does the poem urge us to protect only worms? What is the general message conveyed through this poem? Let's see the answer. The poem urges us to protect all the creatures on the earth and not only the worms. The general message that is conveyed through this poem is that we have to care and respect all the living creatures that have been created by God, because every creature has a purpose. The way God loves us, in the same way God loves the other creatures. We should respect all and should not kill them. Question number 4 and question number 5 you will try on your own. Question number 6, that is paraphrasing the poem, has been done in the earlier video. And now let's do question number 7. Frame a point-wise analysis of the poem, The Worm, using the following points. Now let's do the analysis or appreciation of the poem. The poem has a title, The Worm, and it's written by the poet Thomas Gisborne. Theme of the poem is respect every creature, big or small, for each creature has its own role to play in this world. The tone of the poem is serious and thought-provoking. The structure of the stanzas are made of 4 lines each, and the lines are short. Rhyme and rhythm. The rhyme scheme that we observe in the first and the third stanza is ABAB. The second and the fourth stanzas are little different. I mean, the words exactly do not rhyme. Rhyming means the first and the third line and the second and the fourth line, the end words rhyme with each other. The language is archaic, and few things which provoke imagery are used, such as helpless worm, poor worm, so on and so forth. The figures of speech that are used in the poem are apostrophe and inversion, and we have already seen the examples of the same. So I hope you have understood this poem very well. Thank you.